God has already been dead for a long time when I'm 14 years old and somebody asks me what makes me a Jew. Their question bleeds right through me and onto you, and I start to carry the grief of our masses without grieving. I'm 14 years old and somebody asks me what makes me a Jew, and I tell them I'm not one of them. I'm 14, but I'm not dumb, and I've been enough times around the sun to understand the question. Identity already compromised and polarized and compartmentalized so deeply in my body that this question adds to the blanks in the space where my heart should be. I'm 15 years old. I'm looking around in Birkenau and wonder how this ground can stand here. Like every atrocity that the earth here has seen should render its disappearance. I feel nothing because this is not me. No God, no Jew, no part of heartache. More than 6 million in the ground beneath my feet, and I am nothing. I'm 22 years old and I live in a shtetl. It looks and breathes different than the one my ancestors left, but on Shabbat, men in satin bathrobes and big fur hats rush down alleys and around corners, and the sun goes down with a hush that I can feel in my body. I'm one of them, but I'm not one of them. There is no God, but the fervent energy of the bodies around me suggests otherwise. They look like the characters I've been trying to escape in my tidy secular life. I will be Jewish, but not like that. I will worship Aaron Sorkin and the New York Times. I will use a New York accent to make fun of my mother. I will eat bagels. I will not play sports. I look like the character my neighbors try to escape when they close their Jewishness off from the world. I see people that are ultra-religious, and I think they're crazy, fanatics, out of their minds. I have this idea stuck in my head that says that to participate in something religious means I've made the leap to being religious. There's no in-between. You can either be secular or you can be a religious nut who thinks God created the animals, who thinks evolution is a lie, who thinks birth control is a sin, who can't turn off the lights on Shabbat because that one little flick of your finger is an enormous offense to God. I focus on the parts of religion that are, in fact, completely crazy. It conveniently keeps me from seeing the parts that are good, genuine, and wholesome. It clouds my judgment. Not that I have any particular urge to level up my Jewish identity. I wonder why I can't shake that idea that because some of it is a little crazy, it's all crazy. Did I make this up myself? Did I learn this from something or someone? It's a bit of a pick and choose situation. So I've picked some things, and I'm still choosing some others, and I'll call all of these things tradition because I'd sooner die than say I have some religious entanglement. But really, there's no difference. Semantics. We are mimicking each other, my neighbors and me, living in Exodus, in a spirituality dictated by strict cultural code. I will assimilate, they will segregate, and on Friday nights we will light candles at the exact time, knowing we won't get closer to home than we do right then. The choice of Judaism adds to the weight of privilege, the responsibility of privilege, all of it integrating itself into the core of who I am, who I will choose to be. The privilege of having grandparents who got on the right boat, to make a choice, to decide what we believe in and fight for. A fight that fights apathy, that fights isolation. Taking responsibility for my own Judaism became a fight for love, a fight for connection. I'm 24 years old and I've spent my entire life backing away from things so much bigger than my own experience. They are so vast. They carry so much devoted hope and desperation from so many people. It's charged but so uncomplicated in practice. A prayer from someone who can't pray. Tears from someone who can't cry. I'm standing at the Western Wall in Jerusalem, and I want to trust the uniqueness of this feeling, the authenticity of it, the grit and the sadness in it. It explains so easily the 100 years of fighting over this rock. But of course it doesn't. It remains unexplainable. It remains complicated. It remains close to something godlike or spiritual, like so many of the landscapes here. Do they feel so precious and easy to care for because of their fragility? Volatility? Both? Is it their beauty? Does beauty have enough power to evoke meaning and hope inside a cavernous chest where none has existed before? I prefer the notions of history and fragility, but I suspect that simply beautiful is enough.